Welcome back to Newlands. It's tea time on day number 2 in South Africa, taking a pretty commanding position off the game at the moment. A couple of gentlemen alongside me here, and Shaun Pollock, who I'll skip past because there's a special guest in the studio, Morne Morkel. Nice to see you, Morne. How are you doing?
Hello, Pommie. Thank you. First of all, compliments for the new year.
Yes, thank you, and to you and your family.
Very well, thank you. I'm in a little bit of trouble. I told the wife that I was quickly popping out to go get the bread and milk, and the next thing I was on the big screen, and I'm sitting here in the office now. But yeah, nice to be back. Obviously, special time of the year. And great to be here.
She understands about TV. You know, things change and you just have to go on air at some stage. So she understands.
Probably with the southeaster, my pool is dirty. So what
Tell me about your cricket before we get into all the stories about how your holiday is.
Yeah.
How are things?
Champion.
Yeah, he is a champion. That's why I want you to tell us.
Championship.
First one. I don't know what it took the guy 16 years to win the first championship. So now, just obviously jokes aside, it was special to be part of it. You know, to end off on a high year and to join, you know, Surrey and go there and win the championship was unbelievable. You know, there's a new sort of chapter for me, a new environment to get used to it, and yeah, I must say, you know, sort of first time lucky.
He would have been those county boys jumping all over the show, wouldn't he?
It would have. And
the way he bowled in England last time.
Correct.
Last year.
But also, tell me about what you think of what you're seeing here with all those cracks out there and what's happening. Just thinking about you, what did Hazy call you? Giraffe, sort of having a go on there?
To be honest, I arrived there and we were 43 runs behind, and when I looked up again, we had a lead of 11. So catching up with people and talking, you know, a lot with people at the ground, I missed a patch of the game. But you know, looking at the wicket at the moment and sitting yesterday watching in the first Test match, you know, I think at the moment South Africa are dominating it. You know, they're calling all the shots of the bat and the ball. You know, the way the wicket is sort of extra bit of bounce, there's going to be cracks now coming in from day 3 to 4 and going towards the end. So for me, it's going to be a mental sort of thing. You know, if the Pakistan guys can switch on and get over that mental block and facing our guys that's bowling, you know, all 145 and really making life uncomfortable for them.
It already seems uncomfortable, Shaun. And let's talk about how well in that session both Faf du Plessis and Temba Bavuma played, and why it is you think that they were successful with whatever method they decided to use.
Yeah, we've often discussed over the years how you have to absorb pressure, and there was definitely a period there, particularly before the lunch break, that they had to absorb. There was the catch that wasn't the catch, and Temba survived, and they've just slowly but surely worn them down, haven't they? They had to get the spinner in, and when he came on, they were pretty clever. They decided to take the attack against the spinner, and again Masood was bowling. And they've looked pretty accomplished at what they've done. I mean, yes, they've had to dodge some bullets. There's been some that have taken off for length and misbehaved, but they haven't allowed it to affect them. And as Morne is saying, I see no hope for Pakistan from here. I think when we get another crack, the 4 fast bowlers are going to run in and make life uncomfortable. And with their lead they've already got, by the time this innings is finished, it's going to probably be near somewhere 150, 200 or even more.
As we watch Faf du Plessis play and the way things went, talk about what different could have been done by the bowling side, because there is assistance out there and continually everyone's talking about how difficult things are and how difficult they should be for those who are batting.
I mean, obviously, you know, at Newlands the key is that first hour, and they got the early wickets this morning. But I think, you know, Fafi, especially getting the pair in Centurion, he's here, you know, to make a statement. He's gonna back time. I think at the moment the way he's pacing, his innings is leading quite well. You know, it's not sort of much you can do. We always, when you're out in the middle, you talk about an investment session. We really need to try and control the run rate. You know, you sort of work for that 1 wicket, and once you open at the door, okay, right, let's try and get a bang bang. And I think at the moment, you know, Pakistan, they're trying this sort of thing. They've sort of, you know, hoping to get just that one, and then, you know, have a crack at Quinton, Vernon and those guys, and then hopefully pick up 1 or 2 towards the end of closer play.
Bavuma, form in Test match 1, some form here. Is there something he's doing differently in the way that he's playing, Shaun, or has he been forced by conditions to kind of be a little bit more aggressive or with a better tempo with regard to his batting?
Yeah, Graham touched on tempo. I definitely think he's improved that. I think his weight distribution, particularly getting forward and the way he's gone about his business. There were times in Tempa's career where you could sort of bog him up at one end and not allow him to get away. He didn't rotate strike all that well and put the other guys under pressure, but he seems to have overcome that. And he's also, there's an air of confidence about him now. I think he feels pretty settled about what he's trying to do. It's almost like he's got a new lease on life with the game plan that he's trying to implement. And he's looked brilliant. I mean, Aiden looked superb yesterday, but he hasn't been far off, and that's good news. He'll be thinking about a 3-figure in now. So that's the thing. He missed out in Pretoria. He's got 100 on this ground before, so he's almost been over the line just on this ground. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's very focused on trying to make sure he doesn't make a mistake.
Here's a young fella you're talking about, Markham as well, who played well yesterday. So unfortunate, and as we're talking about, you know, this pitch has enough in it that you could get that horrible one to end the day, gets one that rolls along. So is it expectation? Is it kind of try very hard to put the doubt out of your mind so you can play like this, Morne?
Yeah, I mean, I think how far is a new ball now? You know, they're not far to go.
They've just taken it 2 overs the ball. Yeah.
So, you know, obviously they have to now, off the tee, you know, come and attack a little bit, trying to create that sort of opportunity. Because the last thing you want to do is, you know, Quinton de Kock walks in here with a lead of, you know, 200, and he will take a game completely away. So I think Mickey will definitely have another hard chat with him now at tea, and then the bowlers will respond.
Always having a dig, eh? So just send some into the change-up. Think about where the game is. 104 seems to feel like 150 with the way the pitch is playing, Polly, and what South Africa will want. Is there any need for thinking about anything, or is it just a let's just bat, see how this plays out?
Nah, just bat. Don't think too much about it. You've got 2 guys who settled. And you say 104. Well, in the context of the series, Pakistan haven't got to 200 in innings at all. So you get another 150, and you feel that you can bowl them out without having to bat again. But they won't be taking anything for granted. I think this is going to be a difficult period. As Morne says, there will be team talks, and the spin doctors in both dressing rooms will be trying to spin things. South Africa won't be trying too much. But Mickey, the captain, everyone's going to be trying to pump his team up and say, listen, you've got a new ball in your hand. This is an opportunity. Let's get stuck in. So they'll be coming out with one more fight. It's almost going to be a fight for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. If you can negotiate that as a South African side, then I think you can start writing your own script.
As a bowling unit, this will be sort of the hardest session now. I mean, we've already had a tough sort of outing from this morning. Coming out now after tea, legs will be heavy, feet will be sore. So like I'm with Polly here. They've got an hour of fighting them, and then after that, I reckon we'll run away with it.
Do you miss it yet?
I would lie if I say no. I mean, it's always like I love playing the New Year's Test match. It's always special playing here in front of the home crowd. But yeah, I'll always miss it. I've really enjoyed my time that I've played, but also in saying it was quite nice to spend Christmas for the first time in 12 years at home, and starting the fire and then watching the game with the beer, and sort of moved on. We've got another big season now with Surrey, trying to defend the championship and doing things there behind the scenes. So really looking forward to that and gearing myself up for that.
Have you had a beer yet today?
I was about to open my first one when I got a phone call to come and join you guys there. So it's on ice. So hopefully,
so
hopefully
we've interrupted your day, have we?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry.
Is that okay? Well, tell you what. Thank you very much for coming up here, and apologies for interrupting your beers. You can get back to it. You've still got a whole session to go. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All the best as well when you get back to Surrey for the season. Yeah, thanks, Shaun. And to all of you, thanks for watching. Tea done. Time to get into that final session.